Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 114 of the Runnin The Paint Podcast. I'm Miles here with Nick, Joey, and Jackson. Guys, how are you doing today?
Feeling good, feeling great. How we doing?
We are back, ready for the national championship tonight.
We are back, ready to talk some basketball today, guys. I am so hyped. Let's go.
There it is, Jackson
Let's go.
Coughlin finally speaking to us in the intro.
This is what happens when my team's the 2 seed and looking dominant. I'm gonna
H-Town, stand up.
H-Town, stand up. Fair enough. We got to give the Rockets their credit here. Got to give the Rockets their credit while we still can, while it's the regular
printing
season.
money like it's nobody's business.
Yeah. But yeah, we got a packed episode here today. The second to last episode of the regular season. Less than a week left to go until the postseason begins. Incredible. And what's even more incredible is that there's still so much going on. We have 4 teams in the Western Conference that all have the same exact record with a week remaining. And we have some news to go over from the last week. So definitely a lot to go over. Hope you guys enjoy. Actually, before we even get started here, I want to tell you guys about our upcoming episode. We are going to have our 2025 awards show, which is going to be great. We are going to be giving our combined awards for every single major one, as well as the newly instated GFF Garbage Fire franchise of the season. So that's going to be fun. Make sure you stay tuned for that. And also take a look on our Instagram page later today, or maybe it's already out. There is going to be a poll for every single award for you guys to put in a fan vote for who you guys should, who you guys think should win each award. And that will be counting towards our voting as well. So you could be the difference in choosing who wins an award.
You guys should definitely check out like all the major sports book for that GFF race. Right now, top contending teams to win the Garbage Fire Franchise of the Year award we got Dallas, Philly, Miami. There's a lot of garbage teams this year. So, hit the DraftKings, hit the MGM rewards books and place those bets.
Dude,
it's very
Dallas
Brooklyn on there.
Brooklyn for joy. I tell you what, if that was an actual thing, Dallas would have to be the heavy favorite after this season. But
Memphis.
Okay, all right. That is for next episode. Maybe Jackson will, explain his Memphis potential Grizzlies pick here on a Friday for GFF of the year. But for this episode, let's get started with PERTL. We are coming off of a beautiful 2 in the last episode. Nick gave us a beautiful first guess that gave us Drew Holiday. So, Nick, do you want to give us the first player again, or Joey, Jackson? What do we want to do here?
I had one that I mentioned. Can we go with Tyrese Halliburton? Tyrese Halliburton.
Tyrese Halliburton. All right, we'll try it. This might be a tougher one to start with because he does wear the number 0. But let's see.
I got confidence in us.
Okay.
I got confidence in us.
Blood. What are you yelling about? Chat.
I had to double down because we had no info off the rip here.
That's okay. We still have some information. We know that this is going to be a younger, big guy in the Western Conference.
So clearly it's Alperen Şengün.
Yes.
He actually could be it.
Guys.
Put Şengün in there, low key.
If it's Alperen, you're going to see me do the cha-cha slide. I will post it on the Instagram. Dang it.
That would have been incredible. But
Closer than he is a big dude.
Oh, and he's 22. I'm stupid.
Or 23.
I am worthless.
So this guy's going to be a 7-footer in the West.
In the Southwest.
Could it be Walker Kessler?
Walking Texas Ranger. Is he older than Şengün?
Yes.
Is he?
Wait, what position was he?
Kessler was drafted a year after Şengün, so I
didn't realize he was that young.
Is Filipowski on there? Because I know he was older.
Filipowski.
I don't know if he's
what number is he? Because I think he wears a number in the 20s.
Number 17. Or is he 27? Maybe. I don't know. Or no, he's 15, isn't he? He's number 15.
Ooh.
15, something like that. Is he listed as a 7-foot guy?
I thought he was around 7
I think he's only like 6'10", isn't he?
Is Robert Williams in this age range?
Is he tall? He's not tall
he won't
enough.
be in that age range.
Wait.
Is Jackson Hayes in this
That's
age range?
That's exactly what I was about to say. I think it's Jackson Hayes.
Well, he's already in his 6th year.
No, he's like, I think he's 24.
He
No, he might be 25. He might be 25.
We want to guess Jackson Hayes to get the division.
Let me think.
Because I honestly, I was thinking Jackson Hayes myself as well.
Jackson Hayes, then.
Let's do it.
I was a part of it. If it's right.
All right, let's try it. Jackson.
Hey!
Wow, Jackson Hayes. Let's go,
Nice.
dude. That's
Spelled
big.
it wrong. I spelled his name wrong, but it's okay.
From Tyrese to Jackson Hayes in 3, and that's not bad.
That's not bad at all. Let us know how long it took you guys to get to Jackson Hayes there. As Jackson here said, his name's spelled wrong, but still like him. He's been playing great for those.
That's embarrassing.
What embarrassing?
JAXSON. That's like stupid.
He's an Ohio kid, man. Relax.
I don't care where he's from. It's still stupid no matter where he's from.
No. As someone who is, well, I guess my name is spelled correctly, Miles. We don't like the MYLES. Get out of here, Turner.
Hey.
All right.
No, do not diss the Lego guy, okay? It's my friend.
Does anybody know how to spell? Anybody know what DWIGHT spells?
Hall of Famer.
That's right, baby.
Hall of Famer. We, over the last week, the 2025 Basketball Hall of Fame inductees were announced. Carmelo Anthony, who we talked about last week, we gave our full thoughts on that. Shout out to Carmelo. But then Dwight Howard announced as a first ballot Hall of Famer. Joey, start us off with.
It's a plane. Superman is in the building. Nah, dude. I'm hyped. I'm so happy. Number 1 overall pick right out of high school. I think him and JR were the last class out of high school. They also won co-MVP in that high school All-American game. So shout out J.R. Smith. But no, Dwight Howard was one of my favorite players growing up.
J.R. Smith for the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, that's what I said too, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
All right.
The breaks here, guys. Let's pump the brakes.
Nah, Dwight Howard, man, I got a lot of special memories of he's the first jersey I bought that was not a Cleveland sports team. He's the first jersey I ever bought. And I wore it to the Cavs game right behind the bench. Oh, I miss him so much.
You're not going to tell the story? Just tell the story.
No, I already gave you enough crap about it before.
I'm pretty sure we talked about it on here before anyways.
Nick snatching a Dwight Howard wristband from me when I was
Dwight, if you're listening, get my boy Joey his wristband back.
Please.
Actually, that reminds me, I have a Dwight Howard story. I don't know if I've ever told you guys about this.
Guys, what?
Dude, so the year that he was on the Hornets, I went
Wait
to
a minute. In this realm of the universe?
Yeah, that happened, dude.
Okay.
There were some weird things that happened with Dwight later in his career. We could talk about that.
39, right? He was number 39.
Yeah, but no, the year that he was on the Hornets, it was like around Thanksgiving. It was a Hornets Cavs game in Cleveland. I went with my dad and we took one of my friends. It was his first time going to a Cavs game, and we were about to get in the elevator to go down. We're on like the main concourse. Elevator opens and it's Dwight Howard. It's Dwight Howard. They got off at the wrong floor. And he was.
What was he wearing?
He was wearing his Hornets gear.
Yeah.
Like he was just warmed up. My theory after, working there for years that he was at the practice court that's upstairs and then stopped at the wrong floor. And it was just with all the fans and the fans started going crazy. He was like, and then, back down he went. But that's hilarious. We got Dwight Howard stories on here. But
well, dude, you got to understand that, like, I don't know, I'm 25. Like, growing up, Joey's a few years older. I mean, you guys are a few years younger. But, like, this was our Shaq, bro. Like, when he was, like, he came in the league when we were, like, 12, 13, like, maybe even earlier than that. But, like, yeah, he was someone who no one has seen anything like him, like, since Shaq or, like, even before that. And so, like, to be able to experience that as a kid, just seeing him do that, definitely first ballot Hall of Famer and pretty special thing to see him get inducted.
We've noticed throughout the years, like there's like eras, especially with big men, you see it quickly, like a couple seasons of each. But Shaq was so dominant for so long. After him, there wasn't really like a dominant kind of guy until Dwight Howard came. And that man, what was it, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year?
All in a row.
Dude, even though the Magic even when they knocked the Cavs out, like LeBron had the crazy game-winning shot in either game 1 or game 2 to like even just keep us neck and neck in that series, because I think we could have gone down 2-0 in that series. And even then, when the Magic knocked us out, when the Cavs were having a great year, I was like, I still like Dwight Howard. I was still rooting for him against the Lakers in the finals.
Remember, Dwight Howard and that Magic team did rob the entire NBA of a Kobe versus LeBron finals.
That's true.
They did for sure. But no, Dwight Howard's Orlando Magic days were something special, absolutely ridiculous. Like, that was, let's see, 8 years. I mean, that was the first 8 years of his career. And after that, it didn't go as well for Dwight after he, tried to get out of Orlando. So because of what we saw from the 1 year with the Lakers, him butting heads with Kobe and that whole team, the Rockets, it started off good. Jackson can speak to his Rockets days, but because of his post-Orlando career, fans, I don't think, understand that, dude, this guy, I mean, he's some fans might be like, man, first ballot Hall of Famer, Dwight Howard, what is this? But no, he was the most dominant center in the whole league, defensively, rebounding. He was a good post player, athletic. I mean,
not just a good post player. You're not doing him justice. He was the most dominant big man on both ends of the court for like 5 year stretch of time. Yeah.
There was no stopping him. It was actually incredible, especially since me and Nick saw him as kids, like live. Like I feel like one of those old had like that meme video. It's like, you have no idea how good Tim Duncan was. You have no idea how good Dwight Howard was, dude.
Yeah, and by the way, last time the dunk contest was anything fun to watch, Aaron Gordon, Dwight Howard, Zach LaVine was kind of like towards the end of that era, I guess.
Yeah, he was in the 2020 dunk contest. That's right. I forgot about that part of it too. But yeah, Jackson. So obviously he goes to the Lakers for the 1 year and his Rockets career. What do you remember from his Rockets days?
Dude, I was super young. I just remember he was a good compliment to James Harden, but they just can never win anything. But obviously Dwight's still a great player. That was kind of the beginning of like the decline for him, like the tail end of the Rockets' time.
Yeah, well, it was because, so after the Orlando days, and I mean, I guess it kind of started with the 1 year with the Lakers and really went on for a good like 6 to 7 years. He went through this period where he had like the back injuries, and he was thinking in his head like, man, I'm still the best center in the game. I want the ball in the post. He was demanding for that to happen, and he couldn't step back and really take a more diminished role. And that's why he was a journeyman and considered a locker room cancer for a decent amount of years. I mean, that's why for, let's see, 6 straight years, he was on a different team, from the Rockets to the Hawks, the Hornets, the Wizards. Then he finally got to the Lakers for that second stint, became a bench player, played that role really well, and got himself a championship out of it. He's an NBA champion as well. So he did a great job later on, figuring out his role, which is great because, he was able to kind of end his career on a higher note in a diminished type of role, but still playing well in competitive basketball, which is great because it seemed like after the Hornets year and the Wizards year where he played 9 games and then had to get like butt surgery, like it was terrible. It seemed like after that, it was kind of like, man, this might be it. And this great career is just going to kind of end like this, but it didn't. It did end on a pretty high note.
For sure. I definitely wish he would have stopped in Cleveland. Do you know how fast I would have gotten that Dwight Howard Cavs jersey?
Yeah, so congratulations to Dwight Howard. I mean, with him and Carmelo Anthony, how strange is it for Nick and Joey, you guys? Nick, you kind of alluded to it earlier, but these guys that were at the top kind of their game when you guys were really getting into it growing up with the game and now being in the Hall of Fame. How strange is it?
Strange.
Very. We're talking about like some of these guys like that you guys start watching, and a lot of these younger guys nowadays watch, and it's like you watched all these guys later in their careers when they're like, oh, they're doing role player stuff. Back in our day, I sound old, but like those were our elite guys. Like you have like the top 5 or 6 players in the league that are just absolutely elite. Melo and Dwight were on that list for a good like 6 years straight.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. They both finished their. I just realized they both finished their career on that awful old Lakers team, but
They were only 1 year apart, draft wise too.
Yep, that's right. But yeah, absolutely. So congratulations to both Carmelo Anthony and Dwight Howard. The other people inducted into the Hall of Fame, you have Sue Bird, Maya Moore, Sylvia Fowles, from the WNBA. You have longtime NBA referee Danny Crawford, refed many finals games. The 2008 U.S. Men's Olympic team, as well as
Redeem team.
Yeah, the Redeem team.
Yep.
Mickey Arison, longtime, I believe, owner of the Miami Heat. And Billy Donovan for his time at Florida. Who we'll see by the time this episode's out, we'll see if they were able to take care of Houston in the national.
They will not.
Go Cougs.
Let's go Gators. I'm so excited. I'm wearing Florida stuff for our award show underneath my suit.
Either way, Cooper Flagg is a Houston Rocket now.
All right.
Okay.
Quick word on Flagg, just because we have the time and I had the thought today. Like, he hasn't committed to the draft, and people were saying, like, oh, is he going to go back? Obviously, like, that would be a long shot because he's the consensus top pick. But, like, with all this NIL stuff, like, it's almost like the incentive isn't as much. So, like, if I'm in his position, I'm going to wait to see who gets that pick.
No, but see, the thing is,
I'm just saying, let me finish talking and, like, wait until after the draft lottery gets picked to make the decision. Because, like, the money is probably less of a less of a thing now.
Well, let's see. I'm pretty sure.
No, but, like, he'd start out, making 12 or 13?
You can look it up. What does Cooper Flagg make?
Well, it's not even that. I mean, the things like the draft combine and the early entry deadline occur weeks before the draft lottery. So they would have to. He would have to. There's a reason why that's in place. So that probably for that exact reason you're talking about, so that players can't just they the Wizards have the number one pick. I don't want to go there or whatever.
Well, but also, like, for him, why would he waste an extra year that he could get? Like, that's 1 year.
That's what I'm saying. The NIL.
That's one extra year you'd have to wait to maybe potentially sign a big contract in the NBA.
That's true.
Like,
he's making $4 million right now just off of NIL money. So,
to get to that max, to get to like your super max, like if he's thinking 5 years down the line,
he'd come in making $12 to $13 million as the number one pick.
Probably more if the cap goes up.
Yep.
He wouldn't get that much more.
He can make that.
He wouldn't make that much more than AJ DeBansta, who's at 7.
That's what I'm saying.
4 years guaranteed money. I mean, I think it'd be silly not to go to the league.
Like, it doesn't matter who you're going to. If you play well for that team, you're going to earn an even bigger bag sooner.
And I hate that type of mentality.
I just had a quick thought on it.
No, I mean, it's a good point. I mean, because we haven't really talked about that much, but that's definitely something that's out there. But I mean, there's a reason why those top players go to the NBA. Even when, like, guys like Zion, who went to Duke, he said he wanted to stay, but it didn't make sense for him to stay when you talk about the guaranteed money.
Yeah, he needed that buffet
money. That's prior to this, what we're in now.
Zion needed that buffet money.
We were just talking about Dwight Howard and J.R. Smith. Like, just get rid of the 1 year rule anyways. Let him go from high school again.
Yeah,
I agree.
Like, basically a high schooler right now.
Yeah, he's already a year ahead.
Yeah, that definitely could be something. But that's definitely a good point to talk about, for sure. Before we move on from the Hall of Fame type of thing, I'm actually a little bit surprised of one name that wasn't mentioned on here, because usually how it works is once you retire, you can't be like inducted or whatever for 3 years. It's 3 years after you last played in the NBA. So Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, their final year was the 21-22 season.
Really?
Someone else also finished their career that season, LaMarcus Aldridge.
Oh, they're going to say Jeremy Lin.
No. He's not for, like, Melo and Dwight have the counting stats, and Dwight has the accolades. Like,
but so does LaMarcus. He was one of the most consistent players in the 2010s, and it wasn't even close.
All right. I mean, like, you can be consistent. Like, was he consistently elite or consistently good? Because if he was consistently good, that's
consistently elite. I mean, 5-time All NBA, 7-time All Star.
That's just not first ballot, though.
Here's the thing. Like, I agree with Jackson actually.
Me too.
Because wait, can I say because for Carmelo Anthony, he might not have the accolades in the NBA, but it's called the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. So that takes into account college. Carmelo Anthony.
We talked about Syracuse and
Olympic.
Carmelo.
Yeah, we talked. Yeah.
And
Sorry,
Olympic.
Jackson. You're right.
Like I mean, Carmelo Anthony is one of the greatest college players of all time. I mean, I'm not saying LaMarcus was like bad in college, but Carmelo was like a different level, and then he came to the NBA and was still dominant. Put up like 28,000 points or something.
Yeah, Jackson. We'll ask you the question that we answered last week, which was, when you think about Carmelo, do you see him in a Denver jersey or do you see him in a New York Knicks jersey? And I was like, I see him in a Syracuse Orange jersey, baby.
It's definitely not Denver because he got his number stolen by
By the
Jim.
GOAT.
He might not even get his number retired in Denver, which is crazy.
The thing about Aldridge is, like, yeah, first ballot, not there for me. Like, Dwight had more. He was All NBA first team 5 years in a row. He had 8 All Stars. Like, LaMarcus never made a first team All NBA, and he also, like, I know Carmelo like didn't have a whole lot of great playoff track record, but LaMarcus Aldridge, I don't know if he took his team. I should probably look it up before I speak on it, but I don't remember Portland winning any titles with LaMarcus Aldridge. Not that Dwight did or Carmelo did either, but that kind of part of the equation isn't there, in addition to the fact that his individual accolades aren't there.
There's a lot of things you can play into factor why or why not, but like just the way I look at it is like that. It's just the name drop. When you talk about Dwight Howard and Melo, they were top 5 players in the league.
Yeah.
For 5 to 6 years in a row. LaMarcus Aldridge was a top 5 power forward in the league 5 to 6 years in a row. But
Right.
That's different than 5 best player in the year. Kevin Durant, LeBron, Dame was carrying. As much as we love LaMarcus, Dame was the one kind of carrying. They were a great. Okay, no, not carrying.
Yeah.
There was a great duo. My bad. No disrespect to LaMarcus. I loved him in San Antonio. I thought that was a great fit for him as well.
Why
But
couldn't LaMarcus have retired 1 year later? Because next year's
I do
first
think he's a
ballot-
Hall of Famer, though.
Yeah, just maybe not
definitely.
first ballot.
agreed.
Looking at the Hall of Fame,
Because even like you said in San Antonio, he got 2 All Stars in San Antonio after he left Portland.
Mhm.
3
All NBA
All
second
Stars.
team. My thing with him, I think because what was it? He had some sort of career scare. I don't remember what exactly it was with Brooklyn later on. But basically his career got kind of cut short a little bit by a couple years, and he still had like 20,500 points, always a legit double guy. I think he definitely will be a Hall of Famer, but you guys are right. I mean, there is definitely the first ballot, probably not. But I mean,
yeah,
I think Aldridge definitely deserves his. I think he will be in the Hall of Fame. I think him and DeRozan are kind of almost the exact same type of cases.
next year is going to be interesting. Just looking at this, we
Yeah.
Go
got
ahead. Then we got to move on from the Hall of Fame stuff.
Oh yeah,
This is a quick question. Andre Iguodala, see a Hall of
Not
Famer.
first ballot.
All right, here's the big one. Derrick Rose, first ballot.
well, he wouldn't. Wait, no, he'd be the next year.
No, this is 2022-23. So I'm talking about next year.
No, but Derrick Rose played last year.
He did.
Yeah, he was on the Memphis Grizzlies.
Since he retired in 2023.
Well, that's not right. He played for the Memphis
Stat
Grizzlies.
Muse.
last
All
year.
right. No shout out to Stat Muse.
Yes. So next year, I know what you mean. So next year, I know the 3: Andre Iguodala. I mean, I think he's definitely a Hall of Famer. But there are also guys like John Wall. That was his final season.
Blake Griffin.
He had a lot of like peak years, but injuries kind of ended his career early. But the big name would be Blake Griffin.
Big name is Raul Neto, first of all.
Cavs legend.
Facts.
But no, it'd be the big names from that would be Blake Griffin, Iguodala. If LaMarcus Aldridge would probably go in with those guys.
Blake Griffin's in the hall of jumping over the hood of a car instead of the actual car.
Kenny Lofton deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
All right, moving on.
We're going to
All right,
next bit of news.
Chill out now.
The Portland Trailblazers signed their general manager Jim Cronin to a multi-year contract extension. So shout out to Jim Cronin. He's been their general manager since like the 2022, like January 2022. Has been there basically since the start of their rebuild when they traded away Damian Lillard. And you know, Jackson, big Blazer fans, man. They're going to be a good team in a few years. So smart to lock up their
I think
GM.
they could be a good team next year. Like
What?
I like this team. He built a great roster. He deserves this. Shouts out to him.
Yeah, shout out to Jim Cronin for getting the extension.
Shout out to Jim Cronin.
Last bit of news. There really wasn't a whole lot of news, but on the court we had some NBA or a couple NBA 3-point records go down over the weekend. Both Malik Beasley of the Pistons and Anthony Edwards of the Timberwolves became, I believe, the 4th and 5th players ever to hit 300 3-pointers in a season.
So it helps when you take 3,000 of them, like Ant does. You're gonna have to make 300.
He makes them at a good low. He makes them.
He does make them at a.
He doesn't make them at 41% like Malik Beasley.
Isn't he at like 37 or 38?
Is he? I'm actually curious. What's his percentage?
He's
That'd
at
be hilarious.
37 or
It's got to
38.
be 35.
39.7
Nick,
That's pretty good.
You just got
on
windmill
10.2 attempts per game.
Yeah,
10
that's insanely
attempts.
good.
That's actually nuts.
Joey, that's your MVP.
Facts.
Hey,
Oh, that's right.
No, I didn't expect the Timberwolves to be this bad. My bad.
they're not. Everyone still thinks that they're the greatest team of all time. Apparently,
If they were a top 2 seed, he'd have a case.
Facts.
You definitely would. All right, so Klay Thompson. Well, Malik Beasley's the crazy one, leading the league along with Ant Edwards
Did
for
you say
threes
Klay Thompson?
this season. Yeah, who are the other 3 that have hit 300 in a season?
Steph, Clay, Buddy Hield.
Not Buddy. Obviously, Steph and Clay.
All right, so shoot. Dame.
No, Goglin. You should. Goglin.
Oh, it's James.
Yeah, James Harden.
Look over your shoulder.
Hit 378 threes in the 18-19 season, and then Steph's 402. It's crazy on this list. Steph is number 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
All right, that's not even that crazy. That's not even that crazy.
It really it's crazy when you look at it from this. But so there's that individual 3-point record, and then the Boston Celtics last week broke the 2023 Golden State Warriors record for most threes in a season by a team. Let me go see exactly how many they're at right now. But I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It makes sense that this type of team would have the most threes in a season.
Yeah, they're what, 9 million made threes now? 9,400,000.
This guy's
What
got
it feels
jokes.
like.
This guy's got jokes.
They're at 1394 with 4 games to go. So they're probably going to get to like 1450 or something by the end of the season.
Quick math, 1450 divided by 82 games.
That's more than one a game.
That's more than
It is more than one a game.
Make 18 per game right now. They also take 48, but yeah, so a couple 3-point records going down there. But moving on here, Jackson Goglin in our group chat asked us if we could bring a set of players that I guess we became bigger fans of this season. So we all brought in like 5 or 6 or 7 players that we became bigger fans of this season. So this would be a lot of fun. I'm excited to hear what you guys who's stepped up on your list this year.
Jackson, how do you want to do this? Do you want to go reveal one player at a time or reveal all 5 and kind of make a case? Or
We can go position by position.
Okay.
Just wherever you want to start. If you guys have some,
I have 3-point guards, so
I also have 3-point guards.
Oh my god.
I guess I technically have 2.
Let's start with honorable mentions because that's what if you guys have extras. So anyone have extras? I have 2 extras.
all right, who are they?
So my first one is Cade Cunningham. I mean, I didn't watch a lot of Detroit basketball last year. I know I'm known for watching bad teams, but they were real bad. So I just didn't want to watch them. But watching Cade, I watched a lot more this year, and Cade's just so fun to watch. He just plays the game so fluently, and he knows how to score. He knows how to get his teammates set up. He isn't the worst defender in the world, so I like watching Cade, and since I couldn't pick players from my team, I had to kind of dig deep in the bag because I haven't been watching that much basketball recently. But what I have been, it's been a lot of Pistons because I like
Heck
them.
yeah. I got a couple honorable mentions as well.
Jackson, who's your second?
My second, I do have 2 rookies on my list. The first one is Bub Carrington from Washington. I've watched him both in person and a lot on League Pass because, like I said, I like bad teams, and my favorite bad team is the Wizards.
This is your honorable mention still, right?
Yeah, this is my first honorable mention.
Then
Yeah.
what was? Then who was Cade? Then what was Cade?
Cade was another honorable mention.
So he was the second honorable mention.
Yeah, Nick.
Okay,
I'm the one who's slow here. Okay,
I am always.
continue.
But yeah, I like Bub's ability to create shots for himself and just get buckets. I like players like that. He's been great at doing that, and I think he's got a bright future in the league. For sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Who's your actual point guard?
Oh, it's actually another rookie. His team, his college team is actually in the national championship. It's Jamal Shed. I remember watching at Houston. I watched a lot of the Cougars basketball last year, and he seemed like a leader. I mean, I don't know if you guys seen the clip, but like his teammates getting mad and like throwing the trash around everywhere, and like
yes,
he picks it up. And from then on, like I was like, he was on my radar, and he got drafted, and I was like, man, I hope this dude does well. And he's starting to like play well. He's starting to get minutes, and he's playing really well in those minutes. He's just playing really well defensively, and he can score a little bit too. He can definitely score. So we like Jamal Shed now.
Jamal Shed's been a fun guy this year. I think he fits the Raptors like style perfectly for future years. I think the Raptors are. I mean, we talked about in our lottery team preview. The Raptors definitely have a nice future, and Jamal Shed could be a nice backup piece for that for sure. But
he was undrafted, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Joey, who's your point guard or honorable mention? Wherever you want to go.
Well, my whole honorable mentions was probably like half the Sacramento Kings roster, but I'll choose just Sabonis and DeRozan. But they're only honorable mentions just because I've loved them for a couple years now. Like they're just awesome. Like it's no surprise there. But my point guard is Quentin Grimes, and specifically ever since he got out of Dallas, the man's a dog.
That guy. I had to watch him drop 46 on my team.
But hey, he turned it over so you guys could win the game. So it ended up.
Yeah, true. Good job, Quentin. You're a great player. No, I actually agree with that. I like Quentin too. But continue, Joey.
Who wants to go next for the point guard?
Oh, you just said like a sentence about him?
Well, that's all.
Your favorite player?
Well, I mean,
I told me to pick a starting 5 of my favorite players.
Yeah, we got a lot. All right, Nick, go ahead.
Okay, my honorable mention is another point guard. Since I already have 3, he can't make the team. We'll go with Isaiah Collier because he's been pretty impressive for the Jazz. Kind of coming out of nowhere. I know he was drafted in the first round. He was a good prospect, but he slipped last year because he went to USC with Bronny, and like he slipped a little bit in the draft, but he had a really good first year this year. So give him my actual point guard. I can pick any of these 3 guys. I'm gonna go with Dyson Daniels though because he's really caught a lot of people's eye this year with the way that he's stepped up his aggressiveness on the defensive end of the floor. That's why he's on my team, really.
Nice.
Yeah, he was an honorable mention for me too, but I figured I watched a lot of Pelicans and I liked him last year, so I decided to keep him off.
Yeah. For me, let's see. I guess my point guard, it's actually an older guy, a veteran guy who has gotten back on my nice side this season. No, who do you think it is?
Because you're trying to please the guy who's running the show here. It sounds like it's James Harden.
It is. It's James Harden. It actually.
Oh, I thought it was another Clipper you were going to mention, and I was hating life.
No, dude, James Harden, dude. I've really been a fan of how he's gone about this year. His leadership to me has been very impressive this season, more so than even the last few years. And he's been playing pretty well. Like, he hasn't been the most efficient at all this year, but
Not at all.
no, not at all. He's been one of the least efficient
He's
players.
shooting
in
like
the league. But
38% from the field.
it hasn't mattered. Like, when you're an inefficient player, you need to just shoot the ball because eventually some shots will fall, and that's how I kind of am. So I've really liked how James Harden has played this year, and his play to start the year and his leadership specifically with some certain players that I may mention later has allowed the Clippers to be in position to potentially be a threat come playoff time. And in a year like last year, I feel like it was really rough for James Harden. I haven't really been the biggest fan of him the last few years because I'm like, man, I think you're still really, really good. Play like it. Look for your shot a little more. And he has this year while also making sure that all his guys have gotten involved, and he made an all-star game because of it. So shout out to James Harden, man. Bounce back season, and he's on my nice list now.
Really my favorite player of all time. Thank you, Miles. That made my day.
All right. I'm glad. So go to your shooting guard, Jackson.
So Miles, you've heard me talk about this guy like nonstop. There was a point in time where I was talking about Trey Murphy nonstop.
Yeah.
I love this guy. This dude, he's so good. I don't know what it is. He's a bucket. He can jump high. He shoots threes. Plays good defense. Like, what more do you need? And I think he's got serious all-star potential if that they're building around him after they traded BI.
Just tell the people the truth, man. It was a steal your fantasy draft. That's it.
Well, that too. But like even before the season, like Miles, no, I've always liked Trey Murphy.
Oh, we were talking on whether or not you should like get a card or like literally buy stock in him at this point, and I think he's a great player for sure.
But like this season, it just like catapulted. Obviously because he was on my fantasy team, but he's been on my fantasy team 3 of the last 4 years. So I don't know what it was. It was just this year I don't know. I enjoyed watching him more because he was kind of running the show for a while. And he was showing that he's got really good potential.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Joey.
My shooting guard is Malik Monk. Again, for reasons, obviously he is a Sacramento King. Surprise, surprise. But more specifically, he helped kill it on my fantasy team this year. I shot him out for that.
I need the comment section to do something about this with Joey and the Kings thing. We got to knock this guy out.
I know, dude.
I need to get Kings fans. I need to get some Kings fans listening here. Buy me a ticket. I need to go.
Haters, comment below.
I'm gonna go.
Light the beam.
I'm gonna go comment on every single episode.
You're gonna get shadow banned.
Cool.
Dude,
That's
great.
I'll comment from the official Running the Paint then. It's on our own videos, right?
All right, Nick, you're a shooting guard.
Kobe White.
Valid.
I don't know. Like, I kind of have been a fan of this guy for a couple of years, like you guys have said for the other guys. But he's a great offensive player, and I needed some offense because I usually pick defensive minded guys because So he's my guy. Shooting guard Kobe White.
He's been Nick's guy since he said, I'm going to North Carolina when he was in high school.
I am a Tar Heel fan.
Long time Kobe White fan for sure. Has definitely been great these last 2 years. Has really jumped up and become a good 20 point per game score reliable guy. For me, my shooting guard, it's another guy that I've liked ever since he came into the league, but this year he's really taken a jump up. And that's Austin Reeves, dude.
Yeah.
AR-15 is just a straight baller. He just gets better. Never afraid. Like, I've been so impressed with how he's played. And even this year, how he's even improved since the Luka trade with the dynamic big three of Luka, LeBron, and Reeves is now a legit big three player with that team. Because since the trade, his numbers have increased to 23 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. To do that with Luka and LeBron is incredibly impressive. Doing it efficiently from all areas. He's 47 from the field, 38 from 3, 92 from the line in the 28 games since the trade. I mean, he's been so impressive. His ability to just play the game no matter what, he doesn't really get like too upset or anything like that. He just plays the game the right way, and I'm a big fan of it. And he was like that ever since coming into the league.
Very true.
I mean, hey, the Lakers literally made they took the Philadelphia Eagles, like what they did, and they implemented it to their team this year. They got the exciting whites in the backcourt. If you know, you know.
Okay, who's your
You know,
small
you know.
forward?
No,
Who's
that's
your small-
valid. That's valid. That's valid.
Cooper DeJean, man. Cooper DeJean.
And Blankenship, man.
Nah, Coop makes up the exciting whites. But so who's it? Is it over to me now?
Yeah.
Forward? This is actually a former Wizard. Because like I said, I watch the Wizards a lot. But it's Denny. So actually, I mentioned two guys that were traded for each other in this so far. But yeah, dude, Denny's just like, I don't know. And he's like Jalen Green at the end of the year, man. He just something clicks in his brain and he just becomes unstoppable. Like he's been so good recently, but even like just throughout the season, I feel like he fits this Portland Trailblazers team really, really well. Because like he isn't the greatest defender in the world, but they have so many good defenders around him where like they can pick up his slack if he's not doing that. And then he provides the playmaking, the scoring from the small forward position.
Rebounding, yeah, he does a little bit of everything else, even to make up for the fact that, like you said.
Dude, I'll tell you what, with the way he's played this year, and we've even talked about it before, I've been a huge fan of the Wizards, how they've gone about this season, but I do not understand why they traded him, especially looking back on what happened with Kuzma. Denny would have been so perfect for that rebuild, but I mean, you know, he's doing it now for the Blazers, and he might be their best player. I mean,
yeah, but hey, think if they could Cooper Flagg though, he probably wouldn't have fit that well. I feel like
well, true, but I mean that's a 2-year in advance thinking thing on a potential hope to get. You know, I mean, if there's anything that the Wizards did poorly, it's that decision, and the Blazers are thriving because of it, and Denny's definitely been great, so I like that.
Joey, who you got?
I actually also had Denny Avia written down just because I guess I'm drinking the same juice that you and that Miles and Goglin are both drinking because they have been nonstop on Portland for like I feel like the last year now.
My whole flow.
Yeah, no, Portland and especially Denny. And you did mention the trade. Like as soon as that happened, I was like, Denny's too good. Like this is like. You're good to like rebuild, but like that was the one guy that like you should have got rid of Kuzma first. What are you doing?
You know, ironically enough, I think looking back on it, I want to try to find. I'm pretty sure the trade wasn't it. This was the trade. It was Denny for Brogdon and Bub Carrington. So two of Goglin's players ended up getting traded for each other.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, he said that already.
That really is crazy, dude. I didn't even think about that. All right, Nick.
My next guy is someone who may be mentioned in our next episode for a deep Hoy candidate. Stay tuned for that. But I got Big Zoo in the middle for the Clippers. He's been
small forward.
What?
He's playing the small forward.
Oh,
that's fine. We can roll with Zoo.
Dude, Big Zoo.
do you want me to give another guy and move him or like?
I'll just stick with Zoo. It's okay. I'm just messing.
Because if not, then I gotta go with. Okay. No, yeah, Zoo's my third guy. I just picked 5 guys. I got 3 point guards. What do you want me to do? I'm not gonna. Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing. Don't worry. But why do you like Zoob this season?
Well, because he's been the man in the middle on a defense that needs rim protection, and just like if you watch the Clippers, they've overachieved this year, and I think he's been one of the biggest reasons for it because what they ask him to do is a lot. And he plays both ends, and he makes an impact everywhere. So,
yeah, I also had Zoo. I actually throughout this episode, I started with like a certain amount of players, but now I have 4 centers, and one of them was Zoo. I mentioned before what James Harden has allowed.
We can trade Miles. I got the guards. We can.
It ends up working out, but no, Zoo. They've asked him to be one of the biggest defensive stoppers like in the league. He's been one of the best defensive bigs in the league and a threat on offense. Like outside of like a Jokic or Embiid when he plays, like I don't know if I see anyone get the ball in the post more to go score than Zoo. Or sorry, Şengün. My bad. Almost forgot about it.
I didn't say anything. It's okay. We're good.
No, that would have been bad that would have been bad. Sorry, Alpi. But no, Zoo he's been asked to play an all-star level role, and he's filled that up pretty well. So that's why Zoo's one of my 4 bigs. I'll just rattle them off real quick. Zoo's one of them. Luke Cornett is another one of them. Plays his role perfectly.
Luke Cornett.
I agree. Joey, get that face off. I agree.
Luke Cornett, because you think
F Boston.
Dude, Luke Cornett came into the NBA as a stretch big. It's crazy. And now, for the betterment of the team and for the betterment of the Celtics, he never shoots any threes. He is strictly a rim protector, a ball mover, and a finisher, and an offensive rebounder. So I like that he's played his role very well. Similar thing with Goga Batadze from the Orlando Magic, because he's a guy that is okay with whatever role it is. Like, there will be weeks at a time where he will not play because of Wendell Carter and Mo Wagner. And then, like, Mo Wagner gets injured, and it's like, all right, I'll start, and never complains and always performs. So I give him a lot of respect for that. And then the rookie, Quentin Post, for the Warriors, for being a shooter, a big man that shoots threes and is also not scared to, he doesn't back down when it comes time to talk trash to, like, LeBron we saw last week. So shout out to Quentin Post.
Just don't piss off Draymond in preseason.
Draymond's stupid.
Yep, shout out Jordan Poole.
Hey.
Shout out Jordan Poole.
All right, so Jackson, I guess we'll go in reverse. Or do you want to go to some of your bigs?
Well, I'm going to start with my power forward.
All right.
Shocker, it's another Portland Trailblazer. It is Toumani Camara.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Man, this guy can defend, and he's had some great scoring games too. But man, what was he, the 52nd pick? And he was the best player that they got in the, Damian Lillard trade. And he's just been great. He's been their anchor defensively. He's shooting the ball well. He's scoring well. I mean, he's doing everything. And that's what, like, you didn't expect it from him as a former 50s pick. Like, I don't know. Just Toumani Camara is a great player. I love watching him on the Trailblazers. So he made the list.
And we've said before, imagine how much could be different if the Suns didn't trade him for Nurkic.
Probably nothing. They'd probably mess it up.
I mean, it'd basically kind of be like what Ryan Dunn is, but Kamara's been very, very good.
Jackson, why don't you give your last guy and then restate your starting 5?
Oh, yeah, my last guy is someone that I know none of you have because it is Jarrett Allen.
Okay.
Oh, that's fair.
That's a shock.
Let's go.
Dude,
Mr. Sharman.
my favorite TikToks are watching this dude every defensive 3 seconds go, yeah. It's so fun. No, but I mean, he's a beast. I mean, you look at the Cavs and you're like, oh, look at Darius Garland, look at Donovan Mitchell, look at Evan Mobley. Like these guys have been playing great. Dude, Jarrett Allen's a beast. I've gone to 2 Cavs games this year, and both times he's a monster on the boards, but like he's this guy that you wouldn't think would be like this physical, just like paint beast, because he's like so chill. And I love that he like everyone's clowning him. They're like, oh, you're super rich and you have like these regular clothes. It's like, what? Let the man live his life. Like,
who's pocket watching Jarrett Allen?
Yeah, like let the man live his life. Like,
so who's your starting 5?
So my starting 5 is pretty elite. We got Jamal Shed, Trey Murphy, Denny, Toumani, Jarrett Allen with Cade Cunningham as the 6th man and Bob Carrington as the 7th man.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned Jarrett Allen because I just went to the Cavs game the other day, and Sabonis absolutely just dunked right on him. It was incredible to watch.
All right, well, listen here, bub. All right, you listen here. All right, I don't need you spreading hate. Okay,
I'm not.
No, he spreads King's propaganda.
Thanks.
Even when it goes against the Cavaliers.
Thanks. I sent these guys a picture.
I don't know how you like willingly watch Kings games, but that's up to you.
I like to torture myself. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I root for the Rockets. That's
yeah. That's
so.
Yeah. My last two guys, I got Jeremy Sohan from the Spurs.
I don't think I've
More
ever watched
specifically, because before the season, last year, when everyone was doing for like the Olympics and all that kind of stuff, I found out he plays for the Polish national team, and I'm Polish, so shout out him. And then my last guy is another guy because of the Olympics before the year. My dude Gershon Yabusele.
Guys,
That
where-
counts. It was after
Yeah.
last year's NBA season, so he's one of your favorite players from this.
I count it.
From this season, I watched him the entire. Yeah, exactly.
I count
Yeah.
it. I think.
Yeah.
I'm still.
All right, so Joey, read your five.
I got Quentin Grimes, Malik Monk, Denny Avdia, Jeremy Sohan, and Gershon Yabusele, with my 6th and 7th man as Domantas Sabonis and DeMar DeRozan from the Sacramento Kings.
Three
Light
teams-
the beam!
I thought, didn't we say not from your favorite team? Like, you can't even call yourself.
No, the Cavs are my favorite
No,
team.
no,
What do you
they're not.
mean?
They're
The
clearly
Cavs are my favorite team.
They're
What is
clearly
going
not. Like, they're actually clearly not.
The Sacramento Kings have become my favorite team because of or one of my favorite teams because of these guys this year. That's what you're looking for, right?
No, it was before the year too. Don't even.
No, look at the podcast last year. I was only dogging on Mike Brown.
That's one person.
The thing is what? If they make the Western Conference Finals, you get a Kings jersey
I get a Sabonis jersey.
or a
And
Sabonis.
if
Got to make the
if
playoffs
Magic,
first.
the Magic make the Eastern Conference Finals, I get a Palo jersey.
Yeah, neither
Right.
of those things are coming
I
true.
think neither of those will happen. All right, Nick.
Okay, so
Go.
I'm gonna move Zubac to the Zoo to the 5. I wanted to get a rookie in here, and Jared McCain didn't make the game requirement, so I went with Buzelis.
We had a camera.
Yeah,
Great.
he didn't play 65, so he didn't make the team.
Yeah, Bazelis though. That's Joey's guy. Or those both. I remember.
No, that was Nick's guy.
That's my guy.
He became my guy because of Nick.
Yeah.
And then my last guy was my guy from last year. Always been my guy, and turned me on even more so watching him on the Olympics. Sorry, pause.
Pause.
Turned me on to him getting the opportunity to watch him play in the Olympics. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Every time he gets on the floor, bro, he lifts either the Wolves or the Canadian national team, and every time I see him play, I'm like, why doesn't this coach put him on the floor more? So my starting 5 is we'll go Kobe White at the 1, Daniels at the 2, Nickeil Alexander-Walker at the 3, Matas Buzelis at the 4, and Zubac at the 5.
That's a great starting 5, Nick.
It's a good start.
Nice.
Five
Oh,
right there.
thanks.
Nice.
Miles, do you have any more? I have 1 or 2 more.
Yeah,
After-
I have like 3 wing players.
All right, Miles got a whole 15-man rotation today.
I guess so. No, I'll make 5 out of it. But let's see. I'll start with Amen Thompson. From
Hell yeah.
Rockland's Rockets because, dude, I'm so excited to see what his career ends up becoming because he's already so good now. And I feel there's so much more that he can become. If he can, I mean, he already has like that little pull-up mid-range shot in the paint. He has that kind of unlock. If he can kind of stretch that out a little bit and actually become like a legit shooter, then he's going to be one of the most toughest guys to guard because of his athleticism. He's already one of the toughest defenders to go against in the NBA. And he's a huge reason why the Houston Rockets are one of the top teams in the NBA. I cannot believe that we can say that, but that's true. And he's been a big reason of that.
Doesn't he have a new nickname too? I saw today.
What?
Let me see if I can find it.
Let me see. What do you think? Let's see. Does he have any nicknames on? He does not have any nicknames on Basketball Reference. So we're going to need to
Basketball
figure
Reference is behind the game then.
They must be. They must be. But my other 2 wing guys, Josh Hart has quietly really improved this year to become a really good offensive or a solid offensive player. You'll still live with him shooting threes and stuff, but he's taken on another load offensively, playing a lot, this year. Has a decent amount of triple doubles. I think he's one of the league leaders in triple doubles after those Jokic guys. But for a non-all-star, he's been really impressive. And then my final wing, kind of a similar guy to Josh Hart, Najee Marshall from the Mavericks.
Najee Marshall is like actually incredible.
He's a pretty good player. This year he's basically become one of their number one options, especially during that period when, you know, they were all injured and we were worried that they were going to have to forfeit games. We're past that point, thank goodness. But I mean, we talked about Austin Reeves since the Luka trade, since Najee Marshall, since the trade, has been a 16.6 rebound scorer or player. And it's crazy for that type of player. Shooting 63% on 2-point shots. He's horrendous from three. We don't have to worry about that. But his floater game, he has a real nice floater game. He's good at attacking the basket. He had the one game at Madison Square Garden a couple of weeks ago where he had like 23 points in the first half. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, he finished with 38-71 in that game. But what about against Phoenix? 34-9-10.
Yeah, dude, he's
Marshall's
the next Swiss Army knife type of player, and he plays with an edge of physicality to him as well. So
the question is, Merv, did he make your starting five?
Yeah, starting five. Let's see. I mean, we'll go Harden, Reeves, Josh Hart, Amen Thompson, and Zoo.
Yeah, I'm a big Josh Hart fan too. He's a Chelsea fan too.
Oh my gosh, bro! Try not to mention Chelsea challenge impossible.
I would like to submit that we do this every year because picking your favorite players and making a starting five is fun.
Agreed.
I have some more bench players for my team. Is that okay?
Don't ruin it, Jackson. We had a good thing.
We have a starting
we can't now. We still have more things to get to here.
Oh, I have one really good player that needs his flowers.
All right. All right. Could he win an award?
He should, but he probably won't. It's Aaron Wiggins. He's been hooping this year. When he gets minutes, when he plays, man. I don't know if anyone's been watching Aaron Wiggins like that, but he's a quiet bucket. He's averaging like 12 points a game for the Thunder off the bench, and even when he starts, he completes that starting lineup so well.
Hey, dude, we know Aaron Wiggins has saved basketball on multiple occasions. If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
You know.
So shout out to Aaron Wiggins. But yeah, let us know down below if you want who are some players that you became bigger fans of from their play this season. Before we get out of here, let's get into the crazy Western Conference a little bit. What happened?
Watching Houston just dunked all over Florida.
Oh, geez. We already had a poster dunk.
I mean, to be fair, Elijah Martin got stuffed by the rim on his poster attempt in the first 5 minutes of the game, but Houston just
that was disgusting.
Walter Bumpton Jr.
Sorry, you need to stop it right now.
I love Walter. I love Walter Clayton. I love Walter Clayton Jr.
His performance was incredible. But no, getting down to the final stretch of this regular season, again, just less than a week remaining. And it has gotten even crazier than it was the last time we were on this podcast. Here's 3 through 8 once again, and 5 through 8 all share a 46-32 record here. I think actually the order of some of the teams may have changed that are not updated on here. So I'll update for you guys. Lakers are 3rd, Nuggets are 4th. The Clippers are the 5th seed right now.
Dangerous.
With the Warriors 6th, Minnesota 7th, and Memphis 8th, but they all have the same record. That's just with the tiebreaker. So all the schedules are correct for those teams. So for these remaining schedules, I guess, Jackson, let's start with you. What stands out to you the most about this final stretch of the season?
Just looking at it, wow, the Timberwolves have a pretty easy end to their season right now. With those final 2 games, and even the Bucks look like trash. Especially if Giannis doesn't play. And I mean, even the Warriors have a pretty decently easy end, but man, the Lakers have a tough little road ahead. But those 4 very competitive team. I'm not gonna say the Blazers are very competitive, but they're competitive for a bad team. And then, I mean, because Dallas is AD's back and playing again, isn't he? Or is he injured again? I don't know.
Yeah, he's back. He's back. He's playing.
Shows you how much basketball I've watched. But yeah, I mean, looking at this, I hope Memphis can stay in because we're gonna talk about it. I might talk about it on Thursday, but they're scaring me, and not in a good way.
Yeah, that's definitely fair as well. With the Lakers in that schedule, they'll play tonight as this comes out against OKC for the 2nd straight game after blowing them out on Sunday afternoon, and that's something we could even talk about for a little bit here. That was
He's a free throw merchant.
Oh, Jackson, you can that is incredible. But no,
Held the Thunder under 100 points probably for the first or second time maybe all year.
I mean, to me, that was like the first real major stinker they've had all year, which is saying something to the incredible year that they have.
Didn't they have a stinker in the Vegas game?
Oh, they did, but that one doesn't count. So
That literally doesn't count towards anything.
Yeah, that game disappeared into the nether realm. So
it did. But no, to your point, that was just the third time all season the Thunder scored under 100 points, and their first time since mid-January. As we lose Joey momentarily, but how much do you take into how much do you like look into these games, like even the Sunday game and again here tonight, like how much do we look into that as like real?
What's the question?
Like for these games, like the Lakers versus the Thunder from Sunday, where the Lakers just blitzed them, they played great, the Thunder played bad. How much does that worry? Should that worry Thunder fans? Should Laker fans go crazy?
Hold on. This is a Sunday afternoon game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
It's not a primetime playoff matchup that everybody's like watching on TV. And no, it's different.
Yeah, the one time the Lakers don't have an ESPN game.
And I think the Lakers started something like hitting 10 of their first 12 threes in the game. So, like, when the team does that against you, it's kind of hard to, like, not make an excuse about why you're down so much. And then when you start making those excuses, you're kind of, like, a step behind the rest of the way.
Like Shea not going to the free throwing.
But 10 and 12 is insane. So, like,
Yeah.
sometimes you just have sometimes just one of those days.
That's like my thing. That's why like I really don't like if any Laker fans, I'm sure there are a lot of Laker fans like, oh yeah, we can beat the Thunder. Like, I'm not going to believe in a Laker magnet ball game. Like they shot 22 for 40 from three. I think they may have started 10 for 12. I think the number was they started 12 for 15 from three.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's not sustainable. That over a 7-game series, especially when the Thunder also had a bad game. Like I feel like the Lakers, the way that they played and the way that Luka was making a bunch of threes, I don't know if anyone was going to beat LA on that game. I'm very curious to see what happens in the game tonight. It's also in Oklahoma City to see if the Thunder can win that game. But kind of like Nick and I had talked about previously, like I don't really know how much the Thunder really cared too much about these games. I actually think they care enough about this one. I don't think that you want to go into a playoff scenario potentially against the Lakers where you meet them and you're like, man, we just had these two matchups at home and we lost both games. So I think this game does matter to them, but I don't think even if they also lose this game, I don't really put too much stock into it myself.
Agreed.
Looking at the rest of the Western Conference, though, Nick, what else kind of stands out to you? Jackson mentioned a whole bunch of things, but
yeah, well, I think like we talked about with the Clippers, they're playing really hot right now, but going into Sacramento against San Antonio should be a win. Houston, top 2 team in the West. Going into Sacramento against a motivated team that also needs to win, and then going into Golden State is not a great way to end your season. So like they'll probably be in the play-in. Unless, like, barring James Harden and Kawhi and Zoo just, like, playing crazy and really making a case for themselves to advance or be a legit threat in the West. Like, it's going to go one of two ways in these last 4 games for them. That was what stuck out to me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, well, the thing that is just crazy, I'm actually going to fix this graphic thing right now so that everything is correct on here, because right now record wise, I mean, because of all the tiebreakers, the Clippers are currently
they're the 5th seed.
Yeah, they're the 5th seed, which is absurd right now because of tiebreakers.
But if they go 1-3, then it's not going to matter.
Right, exactly.
Dude, my thing is, like, can you pull that back up really quick?
Yes, here, wait, I have the right one.
Oh, okay.
I should have the right one going up. There it is. Here's the right one. So here's the correct standings.
So looking at this, like I know I said like the Grizzlies scare me in a bad way, but they also like Denver scares
the schedules aren't right now.
Well, Lakers, Nuggets. All right, I guess I'll just keep this one up.
So like they play the Kings, who like the Kings don't scare me. Like Denver plays the Kings and the Grizzlies. And like I don't know how invested Houston's gonna be into that game. But dude, like you got the best player on the planet having like probably the best, one of, if not the best 3-game stretches of his career. And you lose all 3 games.
Yeah, that's
Like,
not great. That's not great.
Not a good look going into the playoffs. And like,
dude, this is crazy. Yeah, so to Goglin's point, so even going back to last Tuesday was the 61-point triple-double in the loss to Minnesota. Then he had a 33-12-9 game on Friday at Golden State, 14-point loss. And then most recently on Sunday, he had 41-15-13, lost by 5 to the Pacers, who have also been playing, very well. But you're right. I mean, when you have the guy who may be the MVP of the league having his best season and having this has to be his best 3-game stretch of the season.
Didn't he have back-to-back 50-point games though? I remember he had like 10 points in 24 hours.
Oh, that's right. He had 56 and 48 when he lost to the Wizards and beat the Hawks. I mean, that's just how does
he need to like score like 4 points a game for them to win or something, and just average 45 assists a game?
He could probably do that.
He definitely. Well, I don't know. His teammates can't make shots.
Yeah, honestly, the most favorable schedules to me would probably be Minnesota and probably Golden State.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Golden State too.
Yeah.
So, looking for those teams to potentially drop up. I mean, the Lakers Mavericks game on Wednesday, that's going to be Luka's return to Dallas. That's going to be the headline game, obviously, to watch there, to see the reception and how Luka plays. And if Dallas, you never know, Dallas could be pumped up and they might try to steal. It's going to be Anthony Davis and Max Christie's first, one of their first games and a chance to get revenge and stuff like that.
Unfortunately, Luka's going to have an 88-point triple-double.
Yeah, Luka's probably
going to go. And every time he makes a shot, he's going to go over and blow a kiss to Nico Harrison.
Yeah.
So it's over.
So I get for teams like that, a team that does have a pretty big say in what happens here is the Houston Rockets, especially with the way that they have, with the wins that they've gotten over the last couple, beating the Thunder, beating the Warriors. They're now in prime position to where they could probably sit guys if they wanted. Jackson, what are your kind of thoughts?
Well, they have to win one more game, and then they have the 2 seed locked up, because right now I think the Lakers still have a chance to get it, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a 3.5 game difference with 3 games left for the Rockets, 4 for the Lakers. So which means the big game is going to be this Lakers Rockets game in Los Angeles.
Even like looking at the Rockets, I know we shouldn't probably be talking. I mean, they play the Lakers, Clippers, and Nuggets. So like that, like someone who's watched as many of their games as I can, like they could definitely blow all 3 of those games, but at the same time, like if they win the first one, I think they'll probably sit people for if they beat the Clippers, they'll probably sit people for the Lakers and Nuggets. Unless they maybe want to play people just because those are 2 people they could see in the playoffs. But I don't know. I think the Lakers will kind of waltz into the playoffs fairly easily. Just because I don't think LeBron's gonna let them fall to the play-in. I don't think Luka's gonna let them fall to the play-in. And I think they have the most ready team, like for these big stretches at the end of seasons like this. Maybe them and the Warriors, obviously, but do you know what I mean? Like, are you?
Yeah, LA will be able to handle their star guys have been there before, and they'll be able to handle the pressure and that. And them already having this lead, over the rest of them does give them an advantage here, especially with Denver, a team that has to play one less game, and they've been struggling, as we've said already. So, yeah, Western Conference is going to be crazy. We'll revisit this on Friday before our awards, which is going to be great. And then last thing, we talked a whole lot about the Western Conference. Let's go to the Eastern Conference real quick. Here are the standings in the Eastern Conference right now. Still not a whole lot of craziness. The Cavs, the Cavs still have to win one game to clinch the number 1 seed after losing to the Kings on Sunday. So we'll see if they can clinch that. Although it isn't easy. Their final 4 games, it's the Bulls Tuesday, which that's the game that they need to look to clinch it on. And then they play Indiana twice, and they play at New York. So Cleveland should get the number 1 seed, Boston 2, Knicks 3, Indy 4. And then it's that Bucks-Pistons setup where those 2 teams play each other the final 2 games of the season. Jackson, what formation do you kind of want to see happen in the Eastern Conference with that 4-5 and 3-6 matchup?
Man, I want Detroit to lap Milwaukee. I don't want to see Milwaukee trade them in for the Raptors or something. Let the Raptors take their spot. The Pistons versus the Pacers would be a fantastic matchup. That's high-powered offense versus high-powered defense. And I think 2 young, still young point guards going at it, and Cade and Tyrese, with experienced playoff performers like Pascal and the Pacers, obviously from last year. I think it'd be a really fun matchup. I think Detroit probably favors better in that matchup than they would against New York. Also, I don't know. New York, players might be dead though. We're not sure. Tibbs been running them into the ground.
They did get Brunson back on Sunday, though. He did play his first game back, so he's going to get a few reps in before the playoffs start.
I think.
Did he come off the bench?
I'm not sure. He might have.
I thought I looked at the box score and I didn't see him.
Did he come?
But I also didn't scroll down to the bench because I didn't think.
No, he played. He played 34 minutes, 15. You might have been talking. He didn't play on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
He played Phoenix on Sunday, 15 points. Dude, Tibbs, he played him 34 and a half minutes in his return.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, Tibbs is trying to kill these dudes.
Jalen was waiting to return. The only reason, he needs 3 more games, now 2, to reach the 65 game mark. He wasn't going to come back until he was ready.
Yeah, no question about it. But yeah, it should be interesting. Yeah. We have this play-in situation. Miami, they should beat Philadelphia tonight, but they are in a bit of a dogfight right now near the end of the 3rd quarter. But looking at the rest of the Miami Heat schedule, I believe it's pretty simple the rest of the way. I saw Pelicans, a Wizards in there, along with this Sixers game in here tonight. So we'll see if maybe the Heat or the Bulls can kind of jump up into that 7-8 spot.
They gotta pray they don't. I mean, they gotta pray they don't play Chicago, right? Chicago looks like they're insane.
Yeah, Chicago definitely has been playing pretty solid, but overall not a whole lot to talk about in the Eastern Conference besides those final Bucks-Pistons games, the final 2 of the season for both of those teams. And then week from today, we'll get into the play-in tournament preview. We're getting down to the best time of the year in the NBA, and I cannot wait for it. You guys have anything else before we get out of here?
Go Cougs.
Go Gators.
Go Rockets.
Go Cavs. Perfect. Light the beam.
We're not. Yeah, I'm gonna throw a brick at the beam. It's gonna break.
All right. Well, if you guys are able to get any of that footage, definitely send it. Put it in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Subscribe for more NBA content. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Remember to check out the Instagram page to do the fan voting for all these awards. We'll see you guys for the awards show on Friday, and we'll catch you then.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.